Manifestation. Manifestation. Power. Why do people wish to manifest things to begin with? Do they expect something on the opposite end of the spectrum? Do they believe that if they attract wealth in their life that they will command respect? Power. Why do people learn about the Kabbalion? Why do people learn about the 7 sacred laws of manifestation? Why do people go towards the end of the world just to find a soothsayer or a technique to attract wealth? Because they don't understand the first principles of what wealth truly are. Wealth, the amount of joy and abundance a person possesses. In life, it's magnetism. If you are that, you will attract that, because this is what you're seeking. So the laws of the universe state that everything is. There is nothing more. So what you're in fact attracting is the clarity, the proficiency of the abundance that you already possess. That abundance already exists in a state of perfection and equilibrium. Now, according to the law. But it's also fun to play with the law. You can manipulate it, but you can never break it. This is another rule according to the laws of metaphysics and abundance. Now, in India, they pray to the goddess Lakshmi. Here she goes. Lakshmi rules over wealth. She's Jupiter's wife, Brihaspati, named after Thor, or Jupiter, or Zeus. These are very similar energies. Ra, Heru, the god of Egypt, Surya, the sun god. These are all emanations and manifestations of the great bodhisattvas of wealth. Another great wealth deity known to many is the heavy Buddha. Here, his name is Hotai. Now Hotai, or Hotei, or Bodai, was a bodhisattva who inherited vast amounts of wealth. Now in China, when there was conversions happening from the old Taoist religion to Buddhism by the great monk Bodhidharma, he was beginning to convert many, many people into Buddhism. And so he came across a very wealthy merchant named Hotai. Hotai, upon uncovering what the karma was, began to experience bliss because he found that core center within himself. He found the Dharma. The Dharma is the teachings of the Buddha. And in doing so, he found his center. So he just gave away vast amounts of wealth in plenitude, enormous amounts of wealth. So he became known as the Happy Buddha, or the Fat Buddha, as many Westerners call him. But in the East, he has a very different concept. It's believed that Bodai, or Hotei, was the reincarnated Buddha to come in our future time. He is called the Buddha Maitreya, the Buddha of the future. He's one of the many wealth deities. Another wealth deity is Ganesh. The big bellies represents the digestion of both good and evil, but it also represents wealth and abundance. Like many Renaissance paintings depict heavy-set, wealthy people. Because, of course, if you were heavier, you were eating better, right? So, anyway, this video is to help you construct and actuate energetic grids to help bring about the manifestation that you already are, because there's nothing without. All of it is within. But because symbols are very effective, we utilize these symbols to draw upon the greatness of our own power. So I created here a energy grid. Now, of course, in India, it's believed that by wearing a yellow sapphire called a pukraj attached to this finger, the index finger, the pointer finger of the right hand, and by chanting the mantra of Jupiter, which goes Om Shim Brim Brihaspataye Namaha, then one will attract wealth in their life, because Brihaspata is the lord of expansion and wealth. This is what Jupiter does. Everyone wants Jupiter in their second house, or Jupiter in their 9th, 10th, or 11th houses. These are amazing houses to have Jupiter in astrology, because those are houses associated with wealth and work. So, of course, we always want the blessings of Jupiter or Lakshmi. So, anyways, this is a typical energy grid. Now, according to the principles of Feng Shui, the southeast corner of a person's room is associated with wealth. The element is wind. So, naturally, Feng Shui experts will place purple, being the color of the wind. I don't know. Purple is also royalty, associated to many monarchs throughout history. Purple is the color of wealth, okay? And, of course, it's also the color of vigor and class and eloquence. It's also associated with Mercury in certain cultures. So, being that it's wealth, I have a dragon here. I'm born in the year of the dragon, so I found the dragon significant. These are amethyst clusters. Around it are 2 bodhis, which were gifted to me by friends, one on my birthday and one from a friend directly from China. Behind it I have a lapis lazuli, and I have a mammoth tusk, also gifted to me from a friend out in Arizona. Now, mammoth, or elephant, because it's a direct descendant, is ivory, I should say, is a animal, or is a stone mineral associated with the animal elephant, which is associated with wealth, because nobility would ride elephants in ancient India. Brihaspata, Jupiter, would also ride an elephant as his vehicle. So, elephants, ivory, wealth. So I also placed this mammoth ivory, which was not poached, by the way, in my wealth corner. These are things a person wants to use when considering attracting abundance. So, proceeding, clusters are used because they draw in energy and they don't need to be cleansed. Now, I clean my crystals anyway. Also, it's said by using candles, either purple or blue, and carving your name while placing them in the southeast corner, a person can also attract abundance. Now, these are great things to do during equinoxes or solstice, because this is when the energy of the new sun is coming in again and hitting the earth at a different altitude, thus giving you new ultraviolet light. That ultraviolet light translates as ionic light, and ionic energy is what we deal with on the third dimensional plane. It's something we actually use in our day-to-day activities. You've heard of electromagnetic frequencies from phones. That deals with ions. Ultraviolet is much too potent, so it's translated into ions. So anyways, ions, right? Crystals also deal on the ionic quantum level. So, crystals, right? Going back to that. So every day I have a jar here, if you look closely. This jar, I say thank you to my coins, I blow on them, and I put them in the jar. When the jar gets full, like at the end of the month, I donate it. What does this do? Strange, right? Why would I donate it? Because donating it creates a channel of circuitry. This circuitry will be given to a random source, someone, and I will also be creating a grid of energy, abundance, and gratitude with the person I'm donating it to. So, of course, that is a conduit or a channel which connects all of us together. And the longer your cord is, the longer your chain is, the longer your spectrum of energy travels, right? It's a current. So they say, this is an old saying, when you give gratitude, heaven's gateways open to you. I like that. That's nice. So I say, without gratitude, there is no multitude. So always give gratitude and mean it from your heart, because it won't work. This stuff won't work. Magic will not work without gratitude. Okay? So, candles, carving your name, placing them in the corners, right? That's just another method. This is a Neko cat gifted to me from a friend in Japan. They also help about with business. So any wealth of deities, you want to place them in the southeast corner. On the wall I have the bodhisattva called Kubera. Kubera is the aspect of wealth according to the Tibetan Nepali pantheon. Kubera, he has a mongoose in his hand that spits out gems, and it's said that